Hi and welcome everybody to another episode of our Duotone Foiling Tech Talks. I'm Klaas and I'm standing here with our foil product manager, Alex. Alex, first time you're on the show here with us.
Yeah.
And we are talking about a foil that has been in the year for, I think, longer than you're with us.
Yeah.
It's a foil that we took over from some sizes from the old Fanatic days and then launched some new sizes with the launch of Duotone foils. It's the Free, and this is the Free 2.0, a foil that has been worked on for quite some time. It's a very important foil in our range, and it's a very important foil for a lot of you guys because it helps you to progress through the early stages of foiling. And we wanted to make sure that you grow with the foil, and the foil is, you're not outrunning the foil so quickly. So we put a lot of effort in here. We are all pretty excited about the outcome. Maybe you can run us through a few of the features and what makes this Free 2.0 such a winner for us.
When you compare it to the Free 1.0, we had many sizes in the range. We came from 800 up to 2000, but it was a complete different time. We don't have so specific foils or specialized foils in the range like we have nowadays. Now we have the crest, the carve, the glide, all down to sizes below 600. And for the Free, it's not needed to have that small sizes because it could also be a bit difficult for the customer to choose when you have too many options. So we reduced our range to 3 relevant sizes, starting from 1300, 1600, and 1900.
So basically, once you outgrow the early stages or you're going into the experience level, you're going towards foils that are in the range of thousands and smaller, you're opting for these different performance-oriented types of foils. If you're into jumping, into the carve, if you're into slashing turns, pumping around on the crest, if you're into more glidey style, more downwinding style, into the glide, it's all more performance-oriented foils, or the niches like a blitz or a hyperglide. And this is the foil that covers everybody before getting into that stage.
Yeah, because at the early stage, you don't even know what discipline fits you perfectly. So you go for the Free. With this foil, you can do more or less everything. You can go in smaller waves. At the very early beginning, it starts super easily. It's not too difficult to ride. You can try more or less every discipline. Even a bit racing, you can push the new Free pretty good. But you can also ride it pretty slow because the stalling speed is now so improved that you more or less fly with no wind.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty good, especially on the 1900.
So the foil is labeled an all-round foil.
Yeah.
Because you're not sure which discipline you grow into. Maybe you just talked about the stall speed. That's something very critical for early day foilers.
Yeah.
They want to go real slow. They want to be safe and feel comfortable. And this is what I found testing all these was so exceptional. You basically slow down, you slow down, you slow down. You just keep flying forever.
Yeah.
And at the same time, it's very intuitive. Like people think sometimes that a foil should be very locked and rolled to make it easy in the beginning.
Yeah.
We found out through our centers and schools and talking to a lot of early day foilers that actually a lot of them prefer a foil that kind of follows their flow a little bit more to save them.
Yeah.
Save them once they do a little misstep or save them through maneuvers. And the combination of this very slow stall speed and this intuitive kind of slight liveliness and roll helps a lot of people to learn and progress.
Let me explain the looseness in roll. It's not drastically for this foil, but you need it, especially if you want to progress your first tags, your first jibes. You want a foil that follows more or less your vision intuitively. And that's what the Free 2.0 does. How did we get this? With these slight upturned wingtips, this moustache shape we already have in our crest. And if you compare it, for example, with a glide, you have a pretty high aspect ratio, which is optimized for gliding, for long gliding. But for a total beginner, it's so difficult to choose the right size of the circle you want to ride when you do a turn. With this, it's no problem because you have this looseness in roll, which is not too loose that it's critical or difficult to ride. And that's the first thing we adjusted. Another thing we adjusted is the general outline. So we have a bit more surface area in the middle of the foil, what helps to generate this early lift at the very beginning. And this helps
To start rising
Yeah,
passive,
it's
basically, right?
almost a passive takeoff.
Yeah.
Not that passive like our lift has, but you don't need an aggressive kick to bring your foil to fly. So that's another thing we changed. And then for sure, we also went in the profile and did some optimizations there. The Free 2.0 has a lower drag, a better glide, and you will feel completely comfortable with that foil.
One thing which was stood out for me when I gave this 1600 here, that was a size we tested a lot, to some of my friends, and some of them are pretty good level foilers, riding foils down to 650 and so forth. And I gave them the 1600. I was like, try. And they all came back like, man, this foil is fun, huh? It's not that you outgrow this so quickly. It has a lot of glide, it has a really good pump, and it's just so easy.
To be honest, when I want to have a super comfortable ride with difficult conditions, I'm also happy to pick the Free. Even if I ride sometimes the Crest or the Glide or also the Calf. But in some conditions, especially when they are a bit difficult, I really like the Free because you can ride it with such a confidence that all your maneuvers sit perfectly. You can improve every tag and every jibe because you have so much time when you do the turn and really can concentrate on all the different things. Because at the very beginning, especially for beginners, it's super difficult to concentrate on all the different points you have to focus. What is your board doing? What does your foil? What is your wing doing? Perhaps there is a little change in the wind angle that's totally difficult to manage. And with the Free,
Supports your foiling.
yeah, it really supports you.
One thing, when I look at this foil, the graphics are slightly different than some of the others, and I don't see carbon shining through.
Yeah,
Maybe you can talk a little bit through what's been
true.
done on this one, because it's not a pure carbon layup, right?
No, it's not a pure carbon layer. We already had our original foil in the range with the Free 1.0, and this is the second version. For the 1.0, we had a complete glass fiber layup without any carbon. And for this, we did some tweaks and redefinements that we have a mixture of glass fibers and carbon, that we get a good amount of flex and still enough stiffness and make it also lighter.
That's what I just wanted to say. It's actually not that heavy.
Yeah, it's not that heavy, but we wanted to have the surface completely black because we don't want
That it looks like the
it
other.
looks like the others, because it's a hybrid. Yeah, it's a pretty good value for money.
That's what I just wanted to say. That brings it in a very nice price point. I guess most people combine this early, like first buy is obviously often an aluminium mast with it. The fuse, most people would opt for a longer fuse in the beginning. So
74.
the 74. But these foils have a lot of built-in pitch stability. This one thing which we all noticed in testing, this white belly here in the center helps a lot also with pitch stability. So people with a little bit of a skill shouldn't be too afraid to go for a 66 already. I mean, people should probably not start with a 60. It makes it pretty pitch nervous. But with a 66, we did a lot of testing. It's very easy to use. Now,
I will always pick it with the 66 because it's a bit more lively and easy to ride. And I'm pretty sure for most customers who are already a little bit progressed, the 66 works perfectly. And also the Free in general, it could be your partner for a pretty long time during your foiling journey.
So our previous best-selling free was the 1750. Now, as Alex said, we have a 1300, probably somewhere replacing the 1250. We have the 1600 sitting between the previous 1500 and 1750. I would feel this is going to be the bestseller.
Yeah.
Trend was going slightly smaller over the years, so that's why we placed this right in between there, and the 1900 probably replacing the previous 2000 with an incredible stall speed and basically for the heavier riders. So
the complete beginners,
midweight riders up for the 1600, somewhere between, let's say, 70 and 85 kgs. Above that, the 1900. Below that, we have the 1300 for first-time buyers. And for each of these sizes, we have a perfectly matching stabilizer, which is new sizes of the PX.
Yeah.
So there's a 195.
195, which will come in carbon because we have it also combined with other foils, and we decided that it's a bit difficult to separate it in the range. So the 195 is a carbon version, and here we have this glass version in 225 and 260.
So this is the perfect recommendation. The PX is a stabilizer that adds a lot of control to your foiling, especially when you accelerate. This is why we opt for this one. Now, a last question. We had a few windsurf foilers before, opting for smaller sizes of the free.
Yeah.
What do you think?
We gave the 1300 to our windsurf foiling guys, and they were pretty happy. For sure, it's not a race foil, but that's also not the aim for this foil. But if you want to have a freeride windsurfing foil, take the 1300.
Is the way to go.
Yeah,
and then once you progress, we have the glides. We got really good feedback on the glides, as well as some sizes of the carves. For windsurf foiling, obviously then always combined with the 90 fuse. That will be always your windsurf foil option. Thanks, Alex. I think Jerome, Poldo, there's a few guys involved in this project. Also Craig here testing a lot on the local lakes at Lake Garda with the center, with the Pro Center. A lot of feedback collected over the month and last years. We've actually spent almost two years on this project. And yeah, the outcome is exceptional. We get really good feedback from the first people who've been riding these, the final foils. I hope you guys like them too. I hope you have a chance to ride them. And if you have any more questions on the Free 2.0 range, don't be shy. Type them below the video. Shoot us some questions. Jerome will be there, our foil designer, who knows all the different aspects of this foil. Poldo is obviously involved with making all the simulations and the profiles. He spent hours on the layups to refine the layup to make this perfect hybrid layup between a nice flex, weight, and strength ratio, and obviously matching a good price point.
And perhaps one last thing to mention, it's also a perfect foil for our e-assist, especially for the cruise. The 1600 is the perfect foil where you can cruise around in every lagoon and have a calm time riding your foil with the assist. So
a true all-rounder, the Free 2.0. Thanks for watching. If you like this sort of content, and as I said, place your questions under the video, and I hope to see you in one of the next episodes.
See you. Bye-bye.